All right. We have over 2,000. So let's just quickly bang out some funniness. So this is Don Pettit. This has been shown a million times, but I'm going to show it next to Neil Armstrong. It'll be pretty funny. So this is one of NASA's most distinguished astronauts. He's been to the International Space Station several times, allegedly. And so just listen to what he has to say here.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that.
A little loud.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But
okay, we'll watch that again in a second. Okay, now we are going to watch Neil Armstrong in 2002.
How powerful a computer did you have? How, in today's terminology, how powerful would you say it was?
Well, it was not as good as a laptop, but it was probably a little better than a handheld. It actually had, I mean, some of you that are computer nerds.
He's a pilot.
Liar,
he's not a nerd.
Liar. He's lying. It's so funny.
You've got to have gigs and that kind of stuff. And we didn't have gigs or even megs.
Okay, now you see where this is going. We're going to do it one more time because it's way funnier when you know the big picture. I like to let people in on the whole picture. So let's watch. I'm going to play. I haven't played either one through yet. I just want to let you guys know it's just a good time. And when people are like, "Oh, is this your tinfoil hat conspiracy friends?" No, this is the alleged first man to ever walk on the moon and one of the heads of NASA. Let's watch it one more time. This is why you shouldn't lie, ladies and gentlemen, because it comes back to haunt you in a really, really embarrassing way every time. Okay, let's watch this. Don Pettit, one more time.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to Mars should be one of the next series of steps that humans do. The first step should be going back to the moon for a number of technical reasons.
Right, but we don't have the tech, right? Okay, so let's do that again. Of course, Anthony says, well, you're just seeing people stumble through their answers. No, that's definitive. He said, we can't go back to the moon because we don't have the technology that we once had, and it's too painful to bring it back. Now, let's listen to the man who people claim was the first person to ever walk on the moon. What technology is he referring to?
How powerful a computer did you have? How, in today's terminology, how powerful would you say it was?
Well, it was not as good as a laptop.
Whoa.
But it was probably a little better than a handheld.
Whoa. I mean, that's crazy.
It actually had, I mean, some of you that are computer nerds.
He's a pilot. He's not a nerd.
You know, you got to have gigs and
so people right now are saying the shuttle. See, people, the cognitive dissonance is so strong in people's heads that they won't just see what's right in front of them. And I'm trying to help you guys, man. I already know it's a lie. But these things are important. And then we're about to talk about John F. Kennedy. We're going to talk about William Cooper, and it's all going to make sense. I actually put a little effort into this one today. Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know. It's been coming for some time. I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? Okay, so if we had this technology, and they're boasting right now, that's why pride is a sin, right? I battle with it. Not going to lie. You know, yesterday I realized it hurt that they took down my picture at the Improv in Hollywood, and that's pride. You know, that's a weakness of mine. I'm working on it. Like, why should it matter? Don't look back. Never look back. You turn to salt. I get it. But this is ridiculous. So someone's like, oh no, it's the shuttle technology. That's the good shit. That's the real shit. They had that. They destroyed it. They can't bring it back. You look so dumb at this point.
And we didn't have gigs or even megs. Our, the Apollo computer had 32K of fixed memory. And
okay, so 32K got them to the moon, allegedly. And they're bragging about it. He's like, dude, we didn't have anything. We had nothing.
A of erasable. That was it. No screen, no sound, no icons, no nothing. Just, and the keyboard just had, it had 0 through 10, read, clear, and enter. I think it might have been 1 or 2 more keys. We had no graphics, no screen, no. On its best days, it couldn't get to 1 megahertz.
That's great, Neil.
So it was slow and weak, but it got us there. But it got.
All right, so let's rewatch. Let's rewatch Pettit. Here we go. This is why we haven't went back to the moon.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
That's weird, Don, because I'm right now on a computer with like 100 gigs. And I just watched a lizard person named, hang on a second, named Neil Armstrong tell me that he had just a couple K. And no graphics, no keyboard, but it got him to the moon. So something isn't adding up. And don't just say that this is some random guy, Don Pettit. He's one of the most esteemed astronauts in the world. He's one of the heads of NASA. He's been to the International Space Station, allegedly, 3 times. So this isn't a random guy stumbling through words. This is one of the biggest people in NASA. Let's watch it again.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond.
In a nanosecond, Don.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
It's
but
such a powerful...
Going to Mars should be one of the...
Yeah, so we don't have the technology. It's a painful process to bring it back, but we should go to Mars, even though we just found out the Mars rovers finally died. And one of the companies that was going to bring people to Mars just went bankrupt and kept everyone's money. So, there's all that. And then people are like, yeah, but we went to the moon. There's proof. We saw, they have all the data. No, they deleted all the data. Even though it's a multi-billion-dollar, organization, they needed tapes. You can't make this up. They needed tapes. Because they couldn't afford VHS tapes. Guys, I still have the Neverending Story and Beetlejuice on VHS tapes. And I was raised in a family without a lot of money. We didn't even have a TV or a VCR till my uncle who fixed VCRs gave us a VCR. And we never taped over them. And I don't like Beetlejuice that much, right? NASA gets billions a year, billions and billions and billions. And they said that they taped over the moon landing telemetry data. But they repurposed it. They used some graphics. They brought in Michael Bay. And now it's great. It's just, you got to get past it. We never went to the moon. The whole space narrative is fake. It's so fake that it's insane. And when people say, you're a conspiracy theorist, well, we're about to get into that with a little man, big man, named John F. Kennedy.